Producer Joe here from the Working Fans Podcast. And at the Working Fans Podcast, this is just a podcast that three lifelong fans created to have a place to talk comedy and pro wrestling. Now, our comedy podcast releases every Tuesday, while our wrestling podcast releases every Thursday. We release bonus episodes under the moniker Working Fans Presents every now and then. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, any major podcast provider. The important thing is just please like, rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to us. Now, we have started a new thing. We are now on Amazon and Audible. So those episodes release every Monday. And that's kind of going through the archives and just releasing our old episodes into new areas. So if you want to live through the process with us again, take that journey with us again, you can find us over on Amazon and Audible. Now, if you can't get enough of us in the audio form, check out our YouTube. It's youtube.com/C/Working Fans Wrestling Pod, or just search Working Fans Podcast on YouTube. We have the whole archive is up there. And if you listen to the Working Fans Podcast, you are more than familiar with the 531. That is our signature segment where we take your top 5 lists on a particular subject, vote it down to a top 3, and then debate it down to a top 1. Now, guys, if you want to hear 3 guys talk shit about comedy, wrestling, life, anything, you will enjoy the Working Fans Podcast.
All right, everybody, it's the Working Fans Podcast with the man they call Dave, AJ Strangebrew. And AJ, I think we have the biggest wrestling 531 we've ever done before.
Yeah, people reacted to this. It just shows me the sexism that we have because nobody reacted to who are the top prospects of women wrestlers in the world. But, who's the top babyface? Here comes everyone.
Well, it could be women, too, to be fair. Now, also, a correction from last week, too. I found this out from producer Joe. We had Vince McMahon bad ideas, and we talked about the potential breast implants.
Yes.
Come to find out, that was Goldust's idea. It got shot down.
That was actually Goldust's actual idea?
Yeah.
Was Goldust like, you motherfuckers, that was my idea?
I mean, I don't think he talked to us personally, but word got around. And, I mean, he might have been doing a lot of drugs at the time. But to be fair to Vince, that one wasn't on him.
We'll talk about rehab in the news later.
We'll talk about some stuff going on later. All right, since it's such a big list, producer Joe sent me a bunch of lists from a group that I asked him if it was the Mothership. He hasn't got back to me at the time of this recording, but I think it's the Mothership group. If not, it's one of his Facebook groups.
If they're friends with Joe,
Rock
they're
and
probably
Randy.
straight from the Mothership.
Yeah, we'll give the 605 podcast, Rock and Randy, any of those groups. He's always getting us, and we always appreciate the list. So
absolutely, let's go.
I'm going to read a bunch of their lists. We'll talk about it, and then I'll get to you, and then I got a bunch of lists off of Twitter and some other Facebook groups, and you have our usual suspects. So, starting off for Joe's list here, we got Joshua Jager. He's got Adam Page. Also, don't forget about what we talked about, too.
Is that Bobby Jager's little brother?
I don't think so. Keep track of these names, buddy, because we got a lot. So we got Adam Hangman.
Oh, hold on. Who was his first name?
He's got Hangman Page. He's got Adam Page. We got Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander. We got Big E. We got Sammy Guevara. And we got Trey Miguel. Now, while AJ's taking notes of this a little bit, I want to add...
Trey Miguel.
Okay, hold on. I want to add some context to some of these lesser names that we won't hear often. And Trey Miguel is one of them. All right. A lot of fire in Trey Miguel. This guy, to me, part of Little Rascals. He's come out here.
Love Trey Miguel.
Yeah, not the Little Rascals, but he was part of the Rascals at Impact. And, he's got some fire. Now, I know what AJ's problem here is. Is he a top babyface? We're thinking top eight. We're thinking of one of the two companies.
Is he? Even the top babyface in his own freaking company.
I mean, yeah, like Josh. I didn't say about Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander might be the top babyface in the company.
That's what I'm saying. Does he even get more cheers than Sami Callihan or Eddie Edwards?
Perhaps not. Continuing on.
Yeah, that list sucked.
Continuing on. Yeah, and I want to say, generally we're looking for WWE, AEW, but
dude, I don't care if you want to go with the smaller promotions, but if you're gonna do that, pick your top babyface in that promotion. Nothing against but Trey Miguel's not even the top babyface in his own fucking production in his own promotion.
We got Pants Ortega, who's got Cody Rhodes, Pentagon Jr., L.A. Park, Chris Jericho, and Psycho Clown. Now,
Chris Jericho's got a chance here. Cody Rhodes gets booed more than the top heels in his own promotion.
I know.
Maybe we don't understand what babyface means.
I want to comment on this, though, because this is a heavy luchador list. And obviously, this guy's watched a lot of wrestling from Mexico. And I have no problem with that because Psycho Clown is huge in Mexico. L.A. Park's
love
a
Psycho
legend.
Clown.
And I love the fact he still included Chris Jericho on his list. Like you, though, I was drawn to Cody Rhodes, who, by the way, I love me.
We love Cody Rhodes.
But we're against the grain. He is not getting cheered right now.
Maybe he meant top babyface with Dave and AJ.
But you know what? I'm gonna put a spin on this. Maybe what Pants means here is maybe he means, despite the fact those assholes are booing him, this man is the epitome of what a true babyface should be. So
surprise we don't still get John Cena.
I do think Cody might be the modern John Cena. We'll talk about that later. Daniel Crummett. This asshole, he wrote down Danhausen 5 times. Now, to be fair,
once again,
I like me some Danhausen.
Once again, good job pandering to the host because we both love Danhausen, who, by the way, just broke his leg, and best wishes to him. I hope he's healing up quickly.
By the way, I'll skip to right now. There's a guy on Twitter. I won't. If I remember to read his name, cool, whatever. But he wrote down Tony D'Angelo, that guy from NXT, 5 times. So I don't even know how that guy makes a fucking list. But
okay, guys, if we keep this up, we're going to have an IQ test before you send a list in.
Continuing on, I will not be denied here. Chris Spida. I don't know.
I don't even know who that is. He's not a babyface. He sent the list.
Yeah. But in that mindset, if you don't know who he is, his first is Doc Turner, Steven Tremosky, the champ. I mean, Luke Hawx. Okay. So maybe he knows Luke Hawk's name is.
Well, I'm going to guess he's coming from one of those Southern organizations, and he's a big fan of that independent organization. And that's absolutely wonderful. I'm going to guess the Louisiana area because that's where Luke Hawx is from. So God bless him for that.
He also added Lance Peterson and Harper. He added Harper. I don't know if he means Harper.
I'm going to write Brody Lee down. That's fine.
Continuing on, Steve Draversky wrote, and this is where you will need that pin ready. CM Punk, Hangman Page, Bryan Danielson, Big E, and Finn Balor.
Oh, I got to write Finn's name down.
I'm
going to be honest with you. With the amount that the WWE's buried him, I was afraid we might not hear Finn. I'm surprised he wasn't released yesterday.
Now, Chris Zaoha, former guest of the show.
Oh, we know Chris Zaoha. This guy's gonna bring the thunder. Here we go.
I'm glad you wrote that because he wrote that his favorite Transformer was Jazz. But I believe because of the way this was shown to me in pictures, there's going to be a real list coming up from Chris. So we'll get back to Chris. However, I can tell you right now, you're going to pop for this list. By the way, behind the scenes, I got AJ making sure we do an exact vote this week on who I know the top lists are going to be. We
might still ignore it.
I'm not starting off with the popular list though. This is not
no shit.
So, and that mind, Chuck Gutner, he came us with a list. Here we go.
That might be Gutner.
Yeah, Chuck Gutner. Gunter.
We'll go with Gutner.
Yeah, Gutner.
He's all guts and balls. That one is.
Oh, he's guts and balls, all right. He's got Norman the Lunatic, Doink the Clown.
Do they still work?
Dink the Clown, PN News, and
okay. First of all, that man is not a babyface. PN News is a heel with us.
There's one more guy you're really gonna love. I can't believe he made anybody's list. Maniac Mike Davis.
Dude, the man used to wear mixed match shoes.
Oh yeah, the socks and the everything.
By the way, before he was Maniac Mike Davis, he was part of the tag team, the Rock and Roll RPMs.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a tag team. Yeah. But we can do a history lesson later on Mike Davis.
Jose Corona. He wrote Bryson.
Is he another luchador?
He wrote down Bryson. He wrote down Zaoha, former guest of the show. He got Brock Lesnar, Jim Cornette, and anyone telling the truth of power about AEW. Okay. All right. Get that pen again ready, AJ. We got a real list here.
Oh, I'm ready. I got my Mike Davis ready to go.
Jason Miller's got CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Psycho Clown, who's actually got a few votes here.
He's on 2. I'm adding him in there. PC is going to be Psycho Clown because he's tied for the lead right now.
Okay. Dragunov and Okada.
Dude, I love the Dragunov, and I don't think Okada is going to get enough votes, but if you go to Japan, Okada is by far one of the top babyfaces ever. So
now, SMC Metcalf, he has more of a statement.
Okay.
There hasn't been a top babyface since John Cena, as painful as that is to say. Apart from Brock, Reigns is the box office attraction, but he's in that lame, cool heel category. CM Punk gets cheers, but that's per numbers. Doesn't really move the needle in a way that top babyfaces should. So he's challenging top babyface.
Doesn't move the needle.
That's what he's saying.
I'm pretty sure if you look at the views when he's on there, it moves the needle.
Well,
not in a way that like Scott Steiner moved his needle.
Oh, this is making a lot more sense now about Zaoha's comment about the Transformers. Chris Harper wrote He-Man, Voltron, Lion-O, Duke, Optimus Prime, and Splinter.
Were we doing top babyface cartoons?
Apparently this guy thought so.
And where's She-Ra?
Now Zaoha is back. He wrote just kidding.
Also Papa Smurf.
Nah, that guy's no babyface with me. He's a heel. But Zaoha's got a real list. So
we ready?
Here we go. Brock, Big E.
Whoa, I gotta add Brock to this.
We'll see.
Well, he's got 2 votes now. He's tied for the lead.
Well, we got Big E. We got Darby.
Oh.
Adam Page. And Bryan Danielson.
So in case you're wondering right now, as we go, Bryan Danielson, Cowboy Page, and Big E are all tied for the lead.
I believe that. Albert Bettis. He's not
on the list.
He's not, but he's got a list for us. He's got CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Brock Lesnar, who is making another list.
Brock's keeping up there.
John Cena and Big E.
So Big E and Bryan Danielson are continuing to be tied. Brock now tied for second with Punk and Page.
I'm glad you said that because Ryan Damon has a list, and it's Big E, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Braun Breaker, and Darby Allin.
I'm not sure that Braun Breaker has quite the following yet.
I'm glad you mentioned that because we're going to get to it. Before, after I'm done with Joe's list, which we're on the last page of Joe's list, I'm going to get to a list I almost forgot to include this week. And we're going to get to that in a minute. So,
Wow.
Former guest of the show. All right. I got Nelly J with a list.
Nelly J.
Who took it very seriously, you can tell. So, AJ, just hold off on that pen. He's got Brian Lass, Jim Cornette's co-host.
Yeah,
Howard
I know who
Braun,
Brian Lass is.
Howard Baum, John McAdam, Scott Cornish, and lastly, James, the British guy who chats with Don Morocco. I don't even know who that is. We're going deep in.
So we're doing
here.
Babyface co-hosts.
Babyface co-host.
How did I not make that list?
All right, we got 3 more people here, and it looks like they gave us real lists. Let's get that pen ready. Chris Spiker's got Bryan Danielson, Big E, Danhausen, Hangman Page.
Well, wait a minute. With the 5 votes that Danhausen got from the one person,
no.
and this vote, that puts Danhausen tied for the lead at 6.
No chance. No chance.
No chance in hell. Sorry.
James,
all right, go ahead.
James Castillo. He's got Finn Balor.
Whoa, wait a minute. Who did he say after Danhausen?
Adam Page. Hangman Page.
Adam Page. Gotcha.
Yeah, I gotcha. He also had Chris Zaoha, but I'm just no.
Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, Chris. Well, Zaoha's got 2 now.
He does have 2. James Castillo. Now he was next. He's got Finn Balor, Matt Riddle, Bryan Danielson, Big E, and CM Punk. And before you tell me an update, I'm going to give you the last list. This is by Cal Hawks. He's got Hangman Page.
Wait a minute. Is this one of the children of Luke Hawks?
I don't think so. He's got Hangman Page, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Big E, and Darby Allin.
All right. So your current leaders are Daniel Bryan and Big E. They are tied at 8. Big E's really bringing it home right now. I'm a little surprised by this.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna talk. Yeah, you almost. I told you off the air like who to keep track of, and you actually almost forgot to include Big E.
Yeah. Punk has actually moved into second place with 6, and Cowboy Page is with 5. So
we're gonna
Darby
take
and Brock with 3.
We're gonna go back and forth here a little bit. I'm sorry. I do want to get to this listing because I forgot to give it to you, and I almost forgot to. I got a list from former guest of the show, Pat Oates, who gave us a list there. Pat Oates,
nice.
Comedian. Pat, you might want to get your pen ready, AJ. He's got CM Punk, Big E, Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, Sting, and Braun Breaker. We'll make one more list today.
Yeah, I love you, but how is Braun Breaker making these lists?
What I love, but Pat too. I talked to Pat about this, and I said that I was happy Braun Breaker made your list because the kid has a lot of potential.
No, he does. I'm just not sure he's a top babyface yet.
I don't think he is.
Hell, Ciampa gets more cheers.
But when I talked to Pat about it, Pat's response was, because I talked about No Denying Big E, and Pat said I was gonna go Hangman over Sting. But I thought there was no denying how over Sting is right now.
He is over. People are cheering their ass off for Sting.
Yeah. I do think Hangman is more over right now, but
he does. Cowboy shit. Yeah. Anybody who saw AEW this week can see how over he is.
He's hugely over. AJ, keep that pen handy, but why don't you give us your list right now? Give us a name.
All right, hold on. I got to pull up this first one again here. Let's see. I got to write down these lists too. So
you do.
We've got Adam Page.
Yeah. Well, who is this? Who's giving us this?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Mike Flynn.
Yes.
I assume Mrs. Flynn's favorite baby boy. I don't know.
I think he is too.
She might like other baby boys better.
We don't know. We're not keeping score on his
Big E.
Yep.
Orange Cassidy finally making a list. Bianca Belair and
There you
Jungle
go.
Boy finally actually getting a vote.
Okay. Jungle
So
Boy's
we're going
get
to
one vote.
disagree on one here.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about this, and she'll get a couple more votes. Bianca Belair, I think she really connects with an audience, especially little girls,
I think
little
she does
African
too.
American girls, especially too. They love her. They
Absolutely.
connect. You don't think she connects as much though?
I just don't think she belongs in a list of top 5 baby faces. I think that she's definitely over with the audience, but to put her over some of these other wrestlers and the reaction that she gets, I don't even think she's the most over female. She might be the most over female in the WWE.
I was going to ask you that.
Except for one problem. I think that Alexa Bliss's character actually gets over huge with the WWE audience, even though they don't seem to want to use her at all.
Now, that being said, too, it's really kind of weird, right? Because the next over babyface female, if you're not counting Bliss, who's away right now, is probably Becky in WWE.
Well, Becky's not away.
No. I'm saying when Bliss is away. Right.
Oh,
now.
yeah. Becky,
I mean, you know,
absolutely.
Becky's a heel. Like, I think.
I mean,
might be
her or Sasha.
Yeah, Sasha. Yeah, Sasha's a babyface again. I think.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Liv Tyler. Liv
Morgan.
Liv Morgan actually gets over incredibly. Also,
she's
even though
really over. We're not doing.
Even though they don't seem to want to use her either.
Yeah.
And that's just WWE. But I don't think any
Britt
of them
Baker,
I don't think any of them are as over as Britt Baker.
That's the thing, because Britt's a heel, but she getting such a huge babyface response, right?
Yeah. But hey, and like I said, it's nothing against Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair is definitely over.
Yeah.
I just don't think she belongs in a top 5 list. That's me.
Well, no problem there. Agree to disagree a little bit, but I think the jury's still out. I think, actually, if you had asked me this after Mania, I think it was clear she was. I think she's lost a little steam.
Keep in mind that she is also still technically, I believe, in her rookie year.
Oh, yeah, she's very new to the game.
So don't get me wrong. She's got absolutely every bit of potential.
I know you like her better than her husband, but
I do like her better than her husband. Although her husband has grown on me. His athletic ability is absolutely phenomenal. I just wish he would spend a little time on his legs.
All right, we got Mike Caldwell. Get that pen ready. He's got Bryan Danielson, Big E, CM Punk, Hangman Page, Darby Allin. I got to tell you, AJ, I am glad you decided to write Darby Allin down there. He is getting some votes here.
Wait a minute. You said CM Punk, Big E, Darby,
Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson.
And did you get Hangman Page?
And Hangman Page. Gotcha.
Okay.
So right now, Big E's actually taking the lead.
Caldwell also added this. Note, WWE has a severe shortage of babyface top guys.
Yeah, they have basically 2.
Now,
and I'm not sure, and I'm not even sure if Drew is actually a babyface anymore.
Yeah, Drew not making any list so far. I know he's coming up though. I got to pull up this next Facebook post list that I got. Why don't you hit me with a list right now?
So I've got Jesse from New Hampshire. He was able to get some Wi-Fi up there in the woods, and he sent a list to Dave. We've got CM Punk. Sorry, I have to write as I'm doing this. Jungle Boy.
Yep.
Danhausen now with his 7th vote. Jesus. That's the Adam Page.
Adam Page.
And Darby Allin once again.
Darby Allin getting some votes. Yeah. Did he have a
is Danhausen getting more votes than you thought he was going to get?
Wait. Does Jesse have a Jake rule in there?
He does. Bryan Danielson, but I don't count that. You put him in as the 6th one, that vote doesn't go in there.
Well, Danhausen ain't getting the 5 votes either. That one jack off.
What? I can't. It's a top 5. I can't give a vote for number 6.
That's fine, but that jack off's not getting to put Dan. And Tony D'Angelo.
He put him in every 5 spot. It's within the 5.
No, all I need is like 2 ass clowns to put Danhausen in 5 times each, and he's winning this. Not a chance. All right. All right, I got.
But legitimately, Danhausen has 3 votes, which I think is more votes than you. That ties him with Brock right now.
It's insane.
He's ahead of he's ahead of Jungle Boy.
I feel like we got more Jungle Boy coming up here. All right, the only phenomenal wrestling group has got back to me. They have Jamoris Moss Warren. He's got Big E, Bianca Belair, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, and Edge.
Wow. So Big E now starting to take a bigger lead. He's up 12-10.
I'm going to throw another list out there.
Bryan.
I'm going to throw one more list out before you. You're only going to need your pen one time for this. We got Matt Riddle, Nakamura, Kofi Kingston, and CM Punk.
Punk now into double digits. He's actually come back. He's actually tied Bryan Danielson now.
Okay. So we got a race going on here. All right, who do you got next, AJ? Keep that pen ready. Multitask.
Coming up next, I have somebody who apparently cannot count. Randy Osga.
He gave us like 7, I think.
Yeah, he gave us 7. So I'm cutting off the last 2. Sorry, Randy. We're following rules here, buddy. We got Josh Alexander. This one popped me a little bit. Friend of the show, John Silver.
Yeah.
We've got Braun Breaker.
Yeah.
Alex Hammerstone. Finally, another vote for Orange Cassidy. And the 2 that don't count are Nick Gage and Chris Jericho.
Okay. Randy gave some different names. I appreciate that, though.
Yeah. Josh Alexander, Orange Cassidy, and Chris Jericho, if we counted Chris Jericho, would be the only ones who Alex Hammerstone could fall in there. He is close to being the top. He might be the top babyface in MLW. So
could be. Yeah. Boy, guys, we got a lot of lists to go here, man. I'll tell you what. Thanks for really contributing. There's a lot of stuff we could give back on these people too, and I'm going to start doing that a little more.
I'm glad Dave learned how to read last week. You guys are testing him and helping him out here. It's very nice.
Thank you. I'm glad I can test that right now because I got Marcus Bernoullis.
Way to prove me lying.
He's got Hangman Page, CM Punk, Jungle Boy, Darby Allin, and John Silver. Did you hear Hangman at the top of that?
I did. Hangman Page, CM Punk, Jungle Boy,
Darby Allin,
Darby Allin, and John Silver.
Absolutely.
So Darby Allin actually is starting to make a move up there too. He's up to 6.
He is. Let me give you another list real quick. I don't know what's going on with this group, but Shamarcus, Keyshawn Ross. We got Matt Riddle, Nakamura, Bianca Belair. All right, and here we go. Big E and Hangman Page.
There we go.
I feel like Belair is definitely getting quite a bit of list here now, but
but she's. I've got her 4. So
she's not definitely doing any of this. Let me give you another one here.
I'm chopping at the bit to do this one. But go ahead.
Tyler Jutt. He's got CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Drew McIntyre, Edge, and Hangman Page.
All right, so Big E's got. I'm just going to update real quick here because it's gotten tighter. Page, Danielson, and Punk all have 12.
Yeah.
Big E has 13.
Okay. Oh, the race is heating up, man. Who you got?
So I've got Scott. I got Scott.
Scott from Voluntown.
Scott from Voluntown. Sorry, I read the full name up at the top there, and I almost say it.
Yeah. We're not doing that. I got you.
Scott from Voluntown. He's got Hangman Page.
Yep.
He's got Little Kazu, Effie, Bryan Danielson, and then he's got 2 that popped me. First, he's got armed Iron Anderson.
Yes.
And then he's got, as an honorable mention, which obviously won't count, anyone who wrestles against Cody Rhodes.
Yeah. So he's definitely what we were talking about last with that first list we got.
But that armed Iron Anderson, to me, 5 votes.
5 votes. I got Jacob Wentworth. Finally, a name I can announce in this group. And no offense to anyone else. I'm sorry.
Yeah, if your name is really, really, really white, Dave can say it.
I got you. I got you all day. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not a racist. I'm just really dumb. Jacob Wentworth. He's got Okada, Moxley, Tanahashi, Hangman, and Jericho.
So,
and I'm going to add.
Wait a minute. Hangman Page on that one actually just took the lead.
Okay. Well, I got Joe by your Danhausen technique. I might have to go back and recount a Bianca Belair because this is from the moderator of this group. He's got Bianca, and also Bianca.
that would put Bianca at 9 if you allowed me.
All right, AJ.
So I have Jake St. John.
Yes.
Jake from Griswold. We'll do that. Jake from Griswold.
Jake from Griswold.
He is actually his mom's second favorite baby boy.
Yes, he is.
And he gave us one hell of a list. Tanahashi making another list, which is fair because he might be the biggest baby face in all of Japan.
Thanks for reminding me. We actually have another list I forgot about too, but go ahead. So many lists this week, guys. You're killing me.
We've got Big E. So Biggie, can't you see? You've made the list and history. We've got Hangman Page.
Yes.
CM Punk. And Jungle Boy finally almost catching up to Bianca Belair.
Now, by the way, the guy who I said earlier who had 5 Tony D'Angelos, that is always Big O on Twitter. And,
please tell me that wasn't Zach.
It was not Zach. No, you have Zach. By the way, Kristen from New York, he's got Tanahashi, and I think he misunderstood me, but we're going to keep some of his names in here. Cena, Stone Cold, Bryan Danielson, and Becky. So really the only one you got to write down is Bryan.
Yes.
Stone Cold and Cena are baby faces, but I don't know about top current baby faces for Stone Cold.
I mean, he will probably be at WrestleMania since it's in his hometown. But
I got Mike Nutty Boy 20 on Twitter. He's got, get ready for this, AJ.
I'm ready.
Big E.
All right.
Drew McIntyre.
Yep.
Hangman Page, Damian Priest, and Bryan Danielson.
So I'm just going to update you real quick. CM Punk is still at 13. He hasn't gotten any more votes. But Daniel, Bryan, and Big E are both at 15 now. Hangman Page now is at 16.
My goodness.
So Hangman Page has taken the lead.
How many more lists you got here? You have an idea?
I've got, hold on. I got one. I got one more. That's it.
All right, and you got yourself too. So let me read off a couple, and we'll get to Zach's list. I believe he's the last one.
Yes.
All right, I got Daniel Legisi.
Easy for you to say.
Daniel. He's got Hangman Page.
Yep.
Darby.
Yep.
Jungle Boy. CM Punk and Eddie Kingston.
Wow.
Surprised you didn't get more Eddie Kingston votes.
That's the first one.
Yeah. George. Let's see this guy's Twitter handle. Hashtag, what do you call it, podcast? Oh, okay. At BlueMania89. He's got Bryan Danielson.
Yep.
Big E. Jungle Boy. Hangman Page and Edge. So all the top vote getters getting a vote with this guy.
Hold on. Got it. Edge has made a bit of a comeback. He's now on 6 lists.
Yeah, Edge is making some. Yeah, I noticed that too. So we got No Filter here, who just says, I'll definitely add Darby Allin in that list for sure. So, well, we thank you, No Filter. That's a vote for Darby.
All right.
All right, AJ, why don't you read Zach, and then me and you will give a list. We'll see.
All right, so as always, Mrs. St. John's favorite baby boy has brought to us Bryan Danielson,
yeah,
Big E, Hangman Page, Jungle Boy, and Punk. He also gave an honorable mention to Edge, but that won't count because that's number 6.
Did you already write those down too?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you might have. All right. Then you know the vote tallies. Why don't you keep them to yourself, and I'll give you my list, and you'll have your list here.
All right.
So, some of the audience is keeping track, but I have not. So, top over Babyfaces. God, man, guys, it's funny. I was so busy with this, it didn't. You have a lot of time, but I'm gonna do it up here on the spot because to me, a lot of these are obvious. Like Hangman Page is on the motherfucking list. So AJ, you can write Hangman Page down all damn day. How do you not put CM Punk and Bryan Danielson on that list? I think they're getting the biggest responses. They have to be included. Now, I don't want to give just strictly an all AEW list. I will give it. It's tough, man. I don't feel like there's a lot of people getting over huge as babyfaces in WWE right now. I think it might not. You know what? As much as I do love this guy. I'm gonna say it. I like Big E. I think it's Edge. I'm gonna give it to Edge. I think Edge actually is getting.
So I'm gonna tell you something funny in a minute.
But. Okay, so we got Punk, Danielson, Edge, and Hangman. And for my last one, I'm gonna be crazy. I know she's not a babyface, but no one else put her down, so fuck it. She's getting babyface responses. Britt Baker.
You son of a bitch. You know I had her.
You had mentioned something about Britt Baker, like you wrote her down. You thought she was going to get a ton of responses.
I thought,
yeah.
Fucking A. All right.
I like you did not think Big E was going to get a ton of responses, and I might have cost Big E. Think for all I know, but anyway.
I'll tell you a funny story in a second. So I've got CM Punk.
Yep.
Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
Hangman Page.
Yep.
Jungle Boy.
Okay.
And Britt Baker. So I did go all AEW.
You did.
Because I think their reactions are bigger than what Big E's getting right now.
They get great reactions. I'm
not knocking Big E. I think Big E's getting a great reaction.
It's just the AEW crowds feel like a big party.
Yes.
Yeah, and as much as like people like to make a big deal out of ratings, AEW's audience is really right there with WWE, I think, in terms of arena business. That being said,
so let me give you some totals here, and one of them's going to be a funny story. Hangman Page has got 20. He's in your top spot.
Okay.
You've got Daniel Bryan, who's got 18. Okay. Now, if you had voted for Big E, he would have tied Daniel Bryan for second. Okay. Unfortunately,
I didn't.
I didn't. So he tied CM Punk for number 3 at 17.
Okay. Now, I, like you, based off of that list, I have no problem making this an all AEW list too. When you're talking about those names, how do you
to me, it has to be.
I think it does.
I think it does. I love Big E. Big E out of the WWE right now, I think is the top babyface.
I do. I agree.
I just don't think he's the top babyface in wrestling.
No. And as Mike Caldwell, former guest of the show, pointed out, note WWE shortage of top babyfaces.
Exactly.
Right
so to me, being the top babyface when there's no babyfaces in your promotion kind of also takes a little bit away from your babyface.
And if you look at some of our audience, probably a little heavier WWE audience. That's why you probably got names like Belair, a little more stuff too, because those names are over in WWE right now.
Well, I'll be honest with you. The other two guys who I think could get over that big as babyfaces will never be allowed to in the WWE while Vince McMahon is in charge. I think it's Finn Balor, and to me, a guy who didn't make anyone's list, Kevin Owens, when they let him be a babyface, can be a top babyface.
He's really a great utility player. Like, he could be an awesome heel or babyface, whatever you want him for. He's great at that's the thing I want to do with you down the road. I want to talk about utility players in wrestling, guys like Jerry Lawler, Bobby Heenan. Yeah, but that's for a future episode. Oh, by the way, future episode, guys, we will be talking next week about biggest Thanksgiving events. Now, I know we didn't get our winner yet. We'll get to that. but I just want to let people know out there we're going to be talking about biggest Thanksgiving events coming up in wrestling for a 531. Now, okay,
we're coming down to time restraints now, so
we're coming down to time restraints, and that's something we want to talk about. We'll be cutting it close today. CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Hangman Page. Okay.
So I'll be honest with you, CM Punk, and this is my opinion, CM Punk got over. He is over. He'll always be over.
I agree.
But I think he's doing the right thing. He's kind of taking his foot off the gas on purpose and letting other people drive the ship right now.
Yep.
And I think that is what keeps him from being the top babyface. It doesn't mean he couldn't be the top babyface.
Okay.
I just don't feel like he is that top babyface.
See, I was going to put him in number 2, but I was going back and forth for that because to me,
well, we're going to agree, actually, and this is something we don't always do.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan, to me, is eventually going heel.
Right. I agree with that. And I just think that Danielson is not quite getting
Bryan Danielson.
I think he's – dude, trust me. We finally got used to Daniel Bryan. But, I think with Bryan Danielson, I think the thing is I don't think he's getting quite the same responses as Punk is.
No, I don't think he gets the same initial. I think when he wrestles, his wrestling is getting that response.
Yes,
but it's his wrestling, and I actually like his personality.
Oh, for what it's worth, Bryan Danielson is my favorite wrestler out of all these three guys.
Yeah,
I love Bryan Danielson,
and that's saying something. And that's saying something because we love all three of them.
We do.
This is like picking your favorite child, and unless you're the St. John parents, this is not an easy choice.
So I think we know we're a little disagreed on 2 and 3, but we're almost there. But we know who
we can agree on number 1.
Yeah, and it's not because he's my favorite.
Well, it's also not because he got the most votes. Because even if he got like 6 less votes than this, I still would have put him there.
Oh my God! I mean, I don't know how you deny that reaction. That reaction is just so over. If you take bias
first of all,
out of it, he is the most over guy.
During the match last night, the night before with Kenny Omega and with freaking Alan Angels, they were chanting cowboy shit before the match even ended.
I want to take you back, even before Philadelphia when he came back, when the Dark Order took on the Elite, not the Super Elite yet. It was the Elite. And it was that basketball NBA style. The Elite came out and they did that whole everyone in the Dark Order came out to the Hangman's music and they did the background. That fucking crowd was electric. I've never seen anything like it. Philadelphia.
To me, you have to put the belt on him.
Yeah,
Chicago, at least give the kid a chance.
When he came back in Philly, I bet you in Minnesota, West Virginia, when they get that, oh my God, this guy is just huge.
I'll be honest with you. I think they're going to put the belt on him. I think Miro might actually now win the tournament.
I agree.
Take out Hangman Page, and then that sets him up with Daniel Bryan.
Now, as we discussed this, I don't know if AJ knows this, we're actually going to be we're like a week ahead. So that episode already came out, so we'll find out if we're right or wrong.
Yeah.
And as we talked about this, and we only got a few minutes left here, but I want to touch on it real quick. There were some releases yesterday in WWE, and we could go on a lot.
If you were a couple in the WWE and you were over, you were in trouble.
I'm going to pull 3 names out real quick that come to mind. And remember, we're doing this on the gun here a little bit. So Karrion Kross, Keith Lee, Harry Smith. Where do you see each of these guys going? Are they all going to AEW?
First of all, how do you let them go?
Beats the fuck out of me, bro. I have no idea.
You know what's
funny? I watched
They're stars wherever they go.
I watched NXT UK today, and I thought to myself, why did Harry Smith not at least go to this brand?
They're stars literally wherever they go.
Yeah.
That's
no Ring of Honor right now. If AEW doesn't pick up all these guys, this is going to be a huge pickup for MLW, Impact,
Dude,
NWA.
If either one of those pick up these stars, I don't see Killer Cross going back to and I'm going back to calling him Killer Cross, by the way.
I don't see him going to Impact, no.
Yeah, I don't see him going back to Impact, but let me tell you something. MLW might be loaded for bear.
Dude, here's another thing. New Japan not able to bring people over right now. If they want to just build up the American, like the New Japan Strong dojo, and just
absolutely.
have Lee Smith's already been there before. Smith,
You bring
Lee,
in
and
these
Ross.
3 guys, you now have 3 super heavyweights who could dominate anywhere.
I agree. We and AJ are actually agreeing a lot this week. But
and talk about the women they got rid of. How Scarlett was over like crazy.
Amber Moon.
And oh my God, Amber Moon, one of the best women in the world. Mia Yim, also one of the best women wrestlers in the world.
Huge additions.
What the hell is going on in the WWE?
Those would be huge additions to Impact. I think they're, again, we got to cut.
Oh, I do agree with one thing. They got rid of the girl from Hit Row.
Yeah. Right after she signed, you know what? Well, kind of a lucky break, though. She just signed that main roster money deal and then got cut. So good on her for that. At least you got cut when you made the money, kid.
Gotta get paid that 60-day money or 90-day money.
Yeah, 90-day. Good for her. And maybe something will happen. They cut the girl from El Fantasma there with the Legado del Fantasma too. I think.
I didn't see her on the list. She actually was prominent this week.
Maybe I'm wrong, but there was.
I did not see her on the list.
And I got to cut this short because we got a meeting we got to attend. So, guys, thank you for making that the biggest, from what I can tell, Wrestling 531 we've ever done. This Working Fans podcast.
We are growing, and we're growing because of you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Let's keep talking wrestling. Let's get wrestling out of the closet.